Okay, the power's still out, but it was just bothering me that I wasn't getting anything done. So I came back out here and I'm just working in the dark. And I can't let the Jeep down because obviously the lift takes power. So it's stuck up on the lift. I've been thinking about what exactly I can get done in the dark. I threw the rear spacers on. I can't torque them because I need to have somebody stand on the brakes and torque them down. One thing that I did not like about this manual actuator is this piece that you thread in and out. You thread it all the way out to lock in the sway bar, so to connect it. Well, there's nothing from keeping it threading all the way out and then losing this whole thing. So it's aluminum. I can't weld it, but Steven can. I'm gonna take this whole piece off, take it down to him, and have him put a couple of tack welds on the very ends of the thread so it cannot come all the way out. I put it on with sealant, so as you can see the bolts are out of it, but the sealant is holding it there. I'll pull that off, get it cleaned up so he can weld that. Okay, so here are the Nitto trail grapplers that I was gonna run, and I had all intentions to run. But then I found a really good deal on a set of Coopers that are the 37 1350, so an inch wider. So I drove an hour and a half or so this morning and picked up these. They are really good shape. I got them for $1,000. They're probably, I don't know, 80% or so. And I'm mounting them up on my new wheels. But my tire machine, there's not enough space between here and here to do a tire that big or wide. So I have to mount, or at least get them on the first bead by hand, and then kind of lift them up there awkwardly with the wheel kind of hanging below the rest of the tire and get them clamped up. So it's been a royal pain, but I'm getting there, and I'm hoping to get them done in time to run to town and get them balanced. My balancer won't do something that heavy. Got the tires mounted and balanced, so now it's time to throw them on the Jeep, do a quick tow check, get that set, and then go take it for a drive. I'm excited about it. I'm really happy with the way it looks, the stance. Pretty pumped on how it turned out. I don't like how it's a little taller in the rear than the front, but I think that will equal out quite a bit once I get a little bit of gear in the back, because right now there's not a single thing in the back. Okay, so the nuts and studs that hold this tailgate table on, they're just a little T that's threaded, and then you get this rubber gasket, and it goes in here and turns 90 degrees. I guess that one's not, I don't got it loose enough yet, but that one's in there. It slipped in there, turns 90 degrees, and then you tighten it, and then you got this stud sitting here, and then the table bolts on. Super simple. This thing turned out pretty sweet. So you just pop that. Seems pretty stable too. Like way more than I thought. And I don't think it'll rattle. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's time to install these bad boys. I'm really excited about them because they're like the Top Gun of the aux beam lights. 5-inch. I don't know how many watts, but lots of watts. Okay, I opened them upside down. Oh yeah, these are gonna be cool. One thing that's kind of cool is the beefiness of the bracket, because if you end up going through like a bunch of Pacific Northwest trails, like a cheesy bracket, which this one is not, but some of the Amazon lights that I've had before, the bracket will actually rip and bend up really easy. And the light might not fail, but then you got your light hanging there because you got a broken bracket. All right, it feels good. I've hit some bumps. I've got it up to the speeds where you typically have death wobble problems, and it feels really solid. So I believe the ball joints completely cured it. Again, I still got to get the toe set correct, but I think we're there. I think this thing's a safe driver now. Okay, so Steven put these tack welds on there. So now this backs out, but can't back all the way out to engage this thing. It's actually engaged when it's all the way out. So I threw some black silicone on there and gonna throw this in there, put some grease on there, and then that will be done. And then I gotta adjust the drag link real quick to where the steering wheel's straight. It's gotta go shorter by about a quarter of a turn. I'm working on mounting these lights, and here's my thought. I want to mount them, well, obviously right here, and then I pulled this cowl off, and I'm hoping to tuck the wire back behind there and then underneath the rest of this. That way it's not up here where it can get kind of wrapped up in the linkage. And the harness will actually, connect to the battery and all be hidden underneath that cowl. That's my hope or my plan. I don't know for sure if I can do all that, because the plugs on the end are pretty big and I don't really want to depin them. But that's what I'm going to try for at least. I was able to get the wire tucked under this edge cowl piece right here. So it comes around, it comes out right here. Now, I've ran a piece of welding wire down through here, and I've taped it up to the wire right there going in. So hopefully it pulls through smooth. Seems, uh-oh, maybe. Come on. Oh, maybe. Oh yeah, we got her. So got it taped to the welding wire, and I'm able, well, now it's wrapped around that, but I'm able to get it through here. So everything will be tucked out of the way of the windshield wiper linkage. Now the other side, even easier. I was able to tuck it under this side cowl piece. So it goes down in there, comes out right there, and then I'm gonna zip tie that bundle all together, tuck it back in there, and then you just have the relay, the fuse, and then this wire, which will go into the cab to the switch. But these things are, I think they're gonna be really bright. The task I'm faced with now is getting this guy to inside of the cabin. On these JKs, there's just not a lot of holes in the firewall. You got one right there that's really small, and it doesn't go straight through. Like, it makes a couple of turns before you actually get in the cab. If you have an auto, there's one down there, but in my case with the manual, you have the clutch master right there. So after watching a little bit of YouTube, I found out there's another one. It goes straight through right there. So you pop off this plastic plate, and there it's just filled with foam. I got probably one of the last metal coat hangers in existence. and you just stab that right through and it comes out right there. So I won't even have to go across the engine bay with this wire. It'll just tape it to there, pull it right on through. Hopefully that baby will go through. I don't know, I might have to like hog it out with a big drill bit or something through the foam. But once I get it in there, then I just go under the dash to the other side where I'm gonna put the switches. After trying for probably an hour to get this connector through that hole, I couldn't get it. So I cut it and I'm gonna splice it back together. I figured, well, I'm in here running wires through this hole. I know I'm gonna put a ham radio in this Jeep. So I went ahead and ran some thicker wire for the ham radio through there. And I had to do the same thing. I had to cut and send it through because I know all ham radios, or most of them anyway, use that plug. And on the other end, I just happen to have one of these extra cables. It's got the positive and negative fuse block and the ring terminals, and I know those wouldn't have fit through there. So cut those, ran those through there, and then I think I'm gonna try to plug that with a little rubber plug or something. These things look pretty killer. Install was very straightforward, other than the fact that the JK doesn't have a very big hole to get the connector through. That kind of sucked. The only thing I would say, if you did it like me, to watch out for is when I first bolted this down, this wire right here was up here, and it actually pinches it really good up there. Down here, there's like a little hole, so it's like pretty free. I left the other one pinched until I can fix it once I'm done with this video, but just to show you guys, that's kind of what I'm talking about. It needs to be down there where that open void is, and I can't, it's like tight in there right now. So I'll loosen up these two, slip it down there. If you guys are interested in a set of these aux beam lights, I will leave a link in the description below, and I'm sure you guys will be just as stoked as I am on them. This is nuts. This is like insanely bright. Okay, here's headlights, and look at that. These things are freaking crazy.